Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I had a request to do a neutral eyeshadow tutorial, so that is what we're going to be doing today. And I'm really excited because I love neutral eyeshadows, neutral eyeshadow looks. I think they look really good on everybody, and they're really easy to create and just universally flattering, I think. So without any more talking, let's go ahead and get into the video. So I'm thinking I'm just going to do a really easy, simple eyeshadow look. Not that I ever do anything too crazy. I'm not the type that does really flashy makeup looks, really artistic makeup looks. That's just not my style, and I just don't have those kind of skills. So we're going to do something that anybody can achieve, and I'm really excited to show you guys. So I'm just going to do the eyes first, and then I'll do the rest of my makeup after. But first, I'm going to start with an eye primer. I'm going to use this Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer. I think I used this one in my previous video. Wow, off to a great start. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wipe some of this off. Wow. And then I'll just blend this out quickly. And I always recommend using an eyeshadow primer because it really just helps your shadows stick to the eyelids and it really helps the colors to pop. And you can go in obviously with any eyeshadow primer that you like. I like this one specifically because it does, we'll clean that up too as well, don't worry. It does cover up some of the discoloration in my eyelids, so that's why I like this specific one. But like I said, there are tons of eyeshadow primers out there. Just pick one that you like. Okay, I know this eye's looking a little crazy. That's because we got the eye primer everywhere, but the eyeshadow palette I'm going to use today is from NATASHA DENONA. It is the bronze palette, and I picked this one obviously because it has a ton of neutral colors, but you can use any eyeshadow palette that you want. This one is a pricey, high-end eyeshadow palette. There are definitely way more affordable palettes that you can buy at the drugstore. I typically like to play with a few shades in a palette. I like to use some mattes, I like to use some shimmers, just kind of a mix of both. And for this specific look, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with this dark shade actually here, which is called Magma. And I'm just going to take it on kind of a fluffier, it is a little bit flatter of a fluffy brush, I guess you could say. I'm going to use this brush and we're going to pack the color on the outer part of the eye to start. He's dreaming. Okay, so I just took a tiny bit of that shadow on this brush and I tapped a little bit of the excess off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here just on the outer part, and I'm just starting to stamp this on. I'm going to pick up a little bit more, tap off my brush, and again, just kind of stamp it right here on the outer part. Once I build up the pigment that I want, then I'll go in and kind of blend it out. But I'm just picking up more shadow until I reach my desired amount. And again, you can take any color shadow that you want to do this, but I like to use my darkest shades here on the outer part of the eye. Once I get that placed, I'm going to take a clean, fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to use this to kind of start just working on the edges and moving this where I want it. It just kind of diffuses the edges so they don't look harsh. And then it just, like I said, moves the shadow where you want it to go. As you guys have seen with a lot of my looks, I like to create this kind of V shape that comes outside of my eye. I just like that for myself. I think it's the most flattering on me. So I'm just gently buffing this out. And as you can see now here on the outside, it's a lot softer and it's a lot more blown out. You can too, if you want, work it a little bit more inside to the inner part of the eye. Okay, let me put that dark shade on this eye so you can see the difference. Okay, so now you can see the difference. This is what we started with over here. Let me close my eyes. That's what we started with, and after blending, this is what we ended up with. So I'm gonna take my brush again, my blending brush, and just work this out. Sorry, I'm using this mirror down here. That's why I'm kind of looking down. And you can really take your time when blending this out. If you want the most blended and diffused look, it's gonna take some time. So when you feel like you've been sitting here forever blending eyeshadows, that's probably a good thing. You also don't have to bring it as far out as I do. Like I said, I just like this look for my eyes specifically. You could keep it just slightly outside of your eye or just directly on the eyelid, whatever you prefer. Now I'm gonna go in and grab a different shade. I'm gonna go into a little bit lighter shade. I'm gonna take this shade here, which is called Beach. Taking it on a different brush. You can use whatever brushes you have on hand, and you can find really affordable brushes. This one's just from e.l.f. e.l.f. is really affordable. This one I used before is from Wet n Wild, which I just picked up at the Dollar Tree. So super affordable. You don't need to spend a lot of money to get good quality brushes. Okay, so with this lighter shade, I'm just bringing that one more in the inner part of the crease. And I like to go just a little bit above my crease as well, since I have hooded eyes. I like to go above just so you can still see the eyeshadow when I'm looking straight on. This shade's not as easy to see on camera, but hopefully you can tell the difference in the shades there. Same thing on the other eye. Then after I have those two shades down, I think I'm gonna jump into some shimmer now. So I'm actually gonna grab two shimmers. You can do just one and it would look just as beautiful, but I like to do two different shades. So I'm gonna start with this one here, which is called Gloaming. It's one of the darker shimmers in the palette. And you can use your finger, but I'm gonna use a flat brush, if you can tell. You also don't have to add shimmer, you can just do mattes, but I love shimmers, so I'm just putting this right next to that darkest shade that I laid down first. I'm just picking up however much I want, and I'm just bringing it up to the crease. You can go higher if you'd like, but that's where I like mine. Same thing on the other side. Then usually after I apply those shimmers, I tend to lose some of the darkness on the outer part, so I'm gonna go back into my first brush and back into that dark shade. And I'm gonna work to, again, just pack this back on just to deepen it up a little bit more. And then I try to just blend it in with that shimmer as I go. I'm gonna grab one more shimmer shade, a lighter shimmer, and I'm just gonna use the back of that first brush I used for that darker shimmer. And I'm gonna grab this shade here, which is Silk, and I'm just gonna take that and just put it right here in the innermost part of the eye. Okay, so there is the eyeshadow look. What do you think? It's not too bad, right? Pretty easy. I feel like this is something that anyone can achieve. Like I said, I myself don't do fancy eyeshadow looks. Like I'm not capable of it. Maybe after time, as I practice, I'll get better, but I feel like this is an eyeshadow look that really anybody can create, and it's really pretty and really flattering on everybody. You can do it with any shades, you can do it with any formulas, mattes, shimmers, whatever you have, you can do this. I'm gonna go in and finish off the rest of my makeup, and then we will be back to finish off this video. Okay, you guys, I am back with everything done. Obviously, I wear a lot of makeup. I like to wear a lot of makeup. Just wear what you want. You don't have to put on this much makeup. Just wear what makes you feel confident and happy and beautiful, and that's great. Like I said, like to wear a lot of makeup. So what I did was I added some lashes, some pretty dramatic lashes, some eyeliner, a little bit of mascara. I did bring some of the eyeshadow down on the lower lash line to kind of tie everything together, and then obviously finish off the rest of my face. So I did also want to mention that I forgot to before with the eye primer. You can totally use concealer as your eye primer as well, which I do all the time. You don't have to go out and buy like a specific eye primer. So just be aware of that. But other than that, I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it taught you something, especially for you beginners, those that are not as comfortable with makeup. I'm obviously not a professional. I just learn what I learned at home and through YouTube and other things like that. And I just have a lot of fun with it. So I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing if you have. If not, I would love for you to consider subscribing to my channel. Also, as always, if there's anything you want to see from me, please leave a comment below. And again, thank you so much for being here. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.